Well, I am sorry that your dad had to miss his lunch, but at least it wasn't wasted.
Went for a good cause, settling your stomach.
Oh, did it ever go for a good cause? You be sure to thank him for me.
Okay, I will. You needed it more than he did anyway, I think.
It was delicious, as always.
Well, you certainly had a hearty appetite for a man with a, well, a hangover.
You don't mince words, do you? I think that the chewing helped me to keep my mind off of the pounding in my head.
Well, I'm glad I came over.
So am I. You know, you're making a habit out of this riding to my rescue. Did you ever think of hiring out as a guardian angel?
Who's going to protect me from you, then?
Hi. I go back out for a cigarette, but I don't smoke. No, that's all right. We had just finished anyway.
So, how's lunch?
Terrific. Just exactly what I needed.
Well, you two sound like you're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, I was, just going to be going anyway.
Let me walk you out. I really ought to be getting back to work anyway. If my boss finds out that I'm still on my lunch hour, I suspect he'd be very upset with me. Don't you think,
thanks.
Jimmy Lee?
I think he'd let you slide this time.
Good. Thanks for the use of the trailer.
My pleasure.
And you, be sure to tell your father that if he ever wants to give his lunch away again, I would be more than happy to take it off his hands. Okay. Especially if his daughter is along to share it with me. Come here.
Oh, good afternoon, Jimmy Lee.
DL!
How you doing?
What brings you down here?
Well, I got a little proposition for you.
Well, I'm always open for propositions.
Yeah, especially when they come from me, right? Huh?
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe? You know you've done very well by me.
I've got no complaints.
I should hope not. You paid what, 150 grand to be my associate in the Waterfront Mall construction?
200.
Wow, you're splitting hairs, and you got a percentage.
Well, that's true.
Now, that is not a bad deal for a guy just starting out in the construction business.
No, it's not a bad deal at all, DL. What's the matter? You got a complaint with the quality of the construction?
Oh, no, I'm real happy with it.
Then
Good job.
Then why bring it up?
Well, let's just say I'm reminding you of how far back we go.
What is it? You want something, DL, don't you?
Well, I tell you what. I want some kind of repayment for the favor that I did you by letting you buy in.
Now, wait a second. As I see it, Holt-Quartermaine did you a favor.
Ah, come on, what's the difference? Let's just say that we stroked each other.
Well, that's all right. Which gets us back to the point.
Yeah, the point.
What is it that you want?
I need a little loan.
How little?
300 grand should cover it.
That little?
I tell you, this is very important to me. I need the money to buy some machinery to reopen the lease.
Look, DL, you don't need a favor. What you need is a bank. Look, I'd like to help you, but Holt-Quartermaine doesn't have that kind of cash. I'm sorry. I got investments. Excuse me. Holt-Quartermaine.
Jimmy Lee,
Celia, what's up?
have you seen Grant?
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing very serious. I just realized that I forgot to send him off with the lunch, and I've made it now. I thought I'd drop it by if he needs it.
Oh, well, I'm sure that he'll scrounge up something. I wouldn't worry about it.
You haven't seen him, then?
No, not in a while.
Oh, there's the bell. Come on in. I'm in the kitchen.
Visitor?
What?
You got company?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm sorry I bothered you. I don't know why I called. It's just... never mind.
Look, you want to know if Grant is drinking, don't you?
What?
Well, relax, he isn't.
I never thought he was, Jimmy Lee. You think that I would call you to ask you if my husband is drinking at work? How dare you?
I suppose you're wondering why I'm here, Father, aren't you?
Why do you say that?
You must think it's strange that I'm coming to see you.
Not really. I assume it has to do with Rose Kelly.
That's right.
How is she?
Rose is falling apart, Father. I don't know how much longer she can go on like this.
She has her faith to sustain
Well,
her.
that's just it. she can't seem to pray anymore.
She told you that?
Well, she told it to Rick Weber. And later, when Rick tried to stick up for Blackie, she threw him out. Rick is her best friend.
After you.
I'm not much help to her right now, Father. Nobody is. She won't see anyone. She just sits up in her room grieving.
Blaming herself.
Exactly. That's why I came to see you, Father. Right now, you're the only one that can talk to her. Would you please try to help her?
All right.
That was an emergency call, sir.
Sorry. Why didn't you tell me about Mikey, man? Maybe I could have helped.
I doubt that, Blackie. Besides, you had your own problems.
My own problems. Doc, you don't even realize what I was going through. I was a demon. I was stepping on people. I was so in love with myself that I didn't even think of my own family.
Blackie, do not blame yourself. I did not mean to tell you about Jenny Blake and Mike to upset you. The important thing about that is that it's over. It's finished. It's done.
Are you sure?
Yes, she promised, and she also signed a document that she would stay away from Mike. He's my son, and that's not going to change.
That's right. That's good.
But right now, I am more worried about my other son.
Better forget him.
Can't do that. And even if I wanted to, I wouldn't do that. You know that.
There's nothing you could do for me now, Doc.
There's nothing I can do for you if you're in prison, that's true.
I deserve it. I deserve it.
You sound like rogues, the two of you raking yourself over the coals for something that you didn't do there. That's not your fault. Now, is that how I should act about Leslie's death? I should blame myself for her dying?
No, that's different.
No, it's just about as silly as what the two of you are trying to do. If I'd just been able to get through to Rose, maybe she could help you.
What?
It's not important enough.
You asked Rose to do something for me?
I thought she might be willing to forgive you.
Doc, how could you do that?
Because I would do just about anything.
No, not that. Leave Rose alone, okay? I've caused that woman enough pain. Oh.
That fabric that you picked out is just perfect.
You mean?
Picked out is just perfect.
You mean it?
I knew I was going to like whatever you came up with. You and I have far too much in common to ever disagree.
I'm so glad. Now all you have to do is find someone good to finish the job. But I'm sure you can find plenty of designers in the Adirondacks to do it.
No, just one second. I think that we have a disagreement here. I don't understand. You are my interior designer.
Well, I've done the hard part. Now you just have to get someone to execute my brilliant ideas.
But I'm counting on you. Now, you cannot desert me at this point in time, not when I'm so close to realizing my dream.
Grant, I can't do it. I live here. I can't spend all my time in the Adirondacks.
Understood. I'm not asking you to move into the cabin, just decorate it for me.
You're going to have to find someone else to do that.
Celia, I don't want anyone else. I want you. You're the only one who knows me this well. It's your husband, isn't it?
Yes. I'm a little concerned about him. I don't think he'll like it if I continue working on your cabin.
You know, I really can't believe it. I mean, the Celia Quartermaine I knew never would have thought twice about it. She was always so independent.
You're right.
As your client, I insist. I will not allow you to leave me in the lurch like this. I demand that you finish what you started.
Well, if you put it like that.
I insist. Promise me that you'll leave Thursday open on your calendar. We can ride up to the cabin together.
This Thursday?
The sooner the better. I would like to start using the place as soon as possible. And I really can't do that until you fix it up for me.
All right. I'll go up with you on Thursday. I don't
Forget it. Now, what do we have to be here for? We can hear all about it on the radio. I mean, every station in town is going to be playing the news of Blackie's first day in court.
Don't you think we ought to lend him a little moral support?
Quite frankly, I'd rather forget this whole mess ever happened. Besides, it's going to be hours before anything happens here.
What are you using for a heart lately, Steph?
What are you using for a brain?
The same thing that I was born with. I still have enough cells left for it to work right. You know what it's telling me? It's saying, Frisco, don't buy it, man. The story she's coming up with what happened in Blackie's room when Lou was killed, just doesn't wash.
Are you crazy? Maybe you've lost more cells than you thought. Doesn't my story and Blackie's coincide exactly?
I suppose.
Word for word, right down to the last comma. Now, if you don't believe me, why don't you go ask Blackie?
There he is.
Blackie?
No, stupid. Frisco. You think they let Blackie loose? He's a criminal.
Not until he's convicted of something.
Feel free to wait around for Blackie to get out of jail. Me, I'll take the next best thing. Frisco, sign this.
Mine, too. I'll take an autograph while you're at it, too.
Get out of here, will you, please?
Hey, what's the matter? Blackie always signed autographs. Since he's going to trial, we can't get anywhere near him. So we have to settle for you.
Well, I'm honored, girls. But I'm sorry I'm not signing any autographs, you understand? Now beat it.
Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, I am?
Frisco.
Put with endless love to my darling, darling.
Yeah, well,
Here, too.
take what
Sign
you get,
it,
all right?
please.
Thanks.
Now leave me alone, will you?
Gladly. We'd rather have Blackie's autograph anyway.
Can you believe this? And where are you coming off with this pressure for me to sign autographs?
Because you still have a future in this business, even if Blackie doesn't. So you might as well start acting like it.
Yeah, I guess you're right, as usual. I guess we ought to start looking for new material, huh? Maybe we ought to get Josh to write us another song. We can call it The Ballad of Blackie Parish, huh? Sounds like a natural, doesn't it, Steph? 3 lives wasted in 3 minutes. Blackie's, Lou's, and Rose. What do you think, huh? Smell like platinum to you?
Amen.
Here we are.
Thank you, Father.
Feel better?
Yes, a little. But I can't lie, Father.
I should hope not.
I don't think I can ever forgive Blackie for what he did.
I realize that.
And how can you give me absolution?
Didn't you say that you would be willing to try to forgive the boy?
Yes.
And you mean it?
I do.
Rosie Kelly, you a good Catholic girl all these years. Don't you know by now that all God requires from us sinners is that we try?
I suppose so.
He only asks that we make the effort.
I will try, Father. I'll do my best to forgive Blackie Parish.
If she complains of any pain, call the doctor immediately, but with the medication she's on, she'll probably rest comfortably.
I'll keep an eye on her.
How'd you make out?
Not real well. I had this guy here locally that I figured was going to help me out, but,
It's too bad.
yeah, well, all you can do is try. I mean, I can't do anything else, right?
You can keep trying.
Well, listen, Rusty, I haven't quit. I'm going to go ahead. I'm expecting a call now from, well, my associates in New York City, and listen to me, I think they're going to come through for me. I really do.
I hope so.
Yeah, well, anyway, that's what you wanted, right?
Brock, I'm very happy for you.
Yeah, but what about us?
Nothing has changed with us, as far as I can see.
What, do you mean you're not going to come home with me?
Why don't you reopen the factory, and then we'll talk about it.
But I just wanted to ask you something.
Is everything all right here?
No problem. She's
What?
fine.
Good.
Celia! Oh, my goodness, am I beat. Not to mention starving. What's that you've got going there? That smells good. Something I said?
Do you have to do that?
Do what? Kiss you?
Stick your nose in my pots.
Excuse me? You planning on poisoning me tonight? I mean, I knew it was coming, but I thought we'd at least get a final farewell.
You're not being funny, Grant.
Oh, I understand, right. This is a surprise, right? Mystery meal? Your first bite's also going to be your last.
I'm just trying to cook you an early supper. With all that you had to drink last night, I thought maybe you'd need something solid in your stomach.
I was wondering when we would get back to that.
What, eating?
No, drinking. Mine in particular. Embarrassing you to no end.
I mean it, Grant. I won't put up with it any longer.
Celia, I already said I was sorry. I said it several times. Now, would you like to rub my nose in it, or can we call it a truce?
Truce.
Good. Now, when do we eat?
Soon. I know I've got to pack you a lunch today, and you probably didn't even go to get a sandwich.
No, I never got around to it.
So you didn't eat anything at all today?
Never even missed it. Look at it this way. You now won't have to pack me a lunch tomorrow.
Well, it isn't my favorite thing in the world to do.
Oh, I can imagine. It must be very degrading to have to pack a bag lunch for your husband, the lowly laborer. At least you'll be spared that pain for one day.
No, actually not. I ate your lunch today.
You ate my lunch?
Mm-hmm. Every bit. It was quite good, too. You really missed out.
What did you have, some kind of a party? I mean, you couldn't possibly have eaten all of that by yourself.
Grant, if you're going to go up and get changed for dinner, I suggest you do it right now, because we're going to eat soon.
Blackie! Oh, Blackie! You know,
Get him away from me. Let him alone. Keep your girl out.
Order in the courtroom. All right.
Order in the court. We will not continue until we have silence in this courtroom. Guard, remove those young ladies. That's better. You may proceed.
Penal law number 12515, docket number 32101, case number 847, the state versus Albert Parrish.
Does the state intend to serve notice?
We do, Your Honor. I have here the statement papers and the grand jury notice.
He means business, Blackie.
So do I. Judge, can I say something?
Your time will come, Mr. Parrish.
I just want you to know that I'm ashamed of what I've done, and I'd like to get this over with as soon as possible.
You may sit down, Mr. Parrish. The court will take your request into consideration. Does the defense wish to make application for bail?
We do, Your Honor. My client, Blackie Parrish, has shown no indication that he presents any threat to society. He fully understands the charges against him and has no intention of leaving jurisdiction. If the court wishes, I can submit any number of references attesting to my client's good character. As such, we feel there's no reason why Blackie Parrish shouldn't be released on his own cognizance.
Well, I do.
You have something to add, Mr. Boyer?
Forgive me, Your Honor, but bail in a case such as this one is unthinkable. Regardless of the so-called character of the defendant, he is charged with a most serious crime. It is the intention of the state to charge Mr. Parrish with manslaughter in the second. Under the circumstances, this court has no choice but to refuse bail.
The court agrees. Request for bail denied.